Unbelievable. Carlo Ancelotti has done it again. And this time, Brazilian fans are losing their minds. The legendary coach has announced his latest Brazil national team squad. And let's just say, the choices are raising more eyebrows than applause. Some players, who fans thought were long gone from the Seleção, are suddenly back in yellow. Players many believed had already reached the end of their international careers are now getting another chance. So what exactly is going on inside Ancelotti's mind? Why are these so-called Lord-level players, as the fans call them, still in the squad when younger, better options are clearly available? Today, we'll break it all down one by one. We'll analyze which controversial players Ancelotti has picked, how they're actually performing this season, and most importantly, whether Brazil had better alternatives. Stay tuned, because some of these choices might shock you. 1. Danilo, the veteran experiment. Let's start with the man who has everyone talking, Danilo. According to Ancelotti, Danilo's versatility is the key reason for his inclusion. He can play right back, left back, and even center back. On paper, that sounds great. A multi-purpose defender who can adapt anywhere. But let's look deeper. Ancelotti has listed him as a center back for this squad. Now, if we check Danilo's current season stats, the picture isn't very flattering. He has played 14 matches, scored once, and holds an average performance rating of 6.85. For a player representing Brazil, that number doesn't scream world-class. It suggests he's not contributing much defensively either, at least not enough to justify his selection over other rising talents. So what exactly is Ancelotti thinking here? If the idea is to bring a player who can fill multiple positions, fine, but why Danilo? Why not someone like Samuel Lino? Lino can also play in several roles: left back, left wing back, left midfielder, even left winger. And unlike Danilo, Lino has been in tremendous form this season. 14 matches, 2 goals, 5 assists, with a rating of 7.23. So why was Lino ignored? If versatility was the main criteria, Lino ticks every box, and he's younger, faster, and performing better. So again, the question remains, why Danilo? And here's another point. Danilo is 34 years old. By the time the 2026 World Cup comes around, he'll be 35. Do you really plan to go into a physically intense World Cup with defenders nearing retirement age? If that's the logic, then why not recall Thiago Silva as well? Silva, who's even older, is performing better right now. 20 matches, 1 goal, rating 7.01, higher than Danilo's. So what's the justification? Ancelotti keeps saying he's building for the future, yet he's calling up players whose future is already behind them. It's confusing, to say the least. 2. Fabinho, the decline no one wanted to see. Next up, another surprising name, Fabinho. At 32, Fabinho was once one of the best defensive midfielders in the world during his Liverpool days. But let's be honest, those days are gone. He's now in the Saudi Pro League, where he's played 7 matches this season, producing just 1 assist and a disappointing 6.81 rating. Now, Ancelotti might argue that he's bringing Fabinho in as a backup for Case Moreau, since both are defensive midfielders. Fair point. But does that justify ignoring other younger, more energetic defensive midfielders who are performing better in Brazil or Europe? Everyone thought Fabinho's international career was done. Even his own fans had accepted that his chapter with Brazil was over. But Ancelotti seems determined to turn back the clock, even if it means sacrificing form for familiarity. 3. Alex Sandro, the ageless mystery. And then there's Alex Sandro. A solid name in the past, yes, but right now? He's 34 years old and turning 35 in January. That means by the 2026 World Cup, he'll be nearly 36. Are we seriously talking about building a World Cup winning team around players pushing 36? Sandro's current season? 17 matches, no goals, no assists, 7.12 rating. Sure, the rating looks okay, but let's be real. He offers almost nothing going forward anymore. In today's football, fullbacks and wingbacks are expected to be dynamic, fast, and constantly attacking. Look at teams like France, England, or Spain. Their wingbacks overlap, create, and press with energy. Brazil needs that too. But Alex Sandro simply can't match that pace anymore. Yes, to be fair, Ancelotti did call up a few promising left-backs, Luciano Juba, Luis Enrique, and Caio Henrique. That's a positive move. But why include Alex Sandro alongside them? Why waste a slot on a player who clearly won't be part of the 2026 plan? One veteran could have been left out to give a new generation player more experience. But instead, it feels like Ancelotti is leaning on his comfort zone, the familiar faces, even if they're fading ones. 4. Antony, the shining star ignored. Now this one is truly shocking. Antony, the winger who has recently rediscovered his form in La Liga, has been in red-hot shape. 7 matches, 4 goals, 1 assist, contributing to 5 goals in total, with a rating of 7.98, the highest among Brazilian players right now. Yet, somehow, he didn't make the squad. Instead, Ancelotti went with Luis Enrique, who has just 1 goal and 1 assist in 12 matches, with a 7.30 rating. Now, Enrique is talented, no doubt, but how do you justify picking him over Antony, who's delivering consistent match-winning performances? Even when Ancelotti first took charge of Brazil, he called up Antony, but gave him 0 minutes on the pitch. Now that Antony's performing again, he's completely ignored. What kind of message does that send? If you truly value form, Antony deserves a spot. If you value potential, he deserves it even more. He's still young and hungry. So why not give him a chance now, when he's at his best? If Ancelotti wanted to make space, he easily could. Brazil's squad currently has 4 center forwards. One could have been dropped to accommodate Antony, or maybe one of the 5 center backs. Even at left back, with 3 players competing, removing Alex Sandro for Antony would have made more sense. But no, once again, we see questionable favoritism over logic. Now that we've gone through these key selections, Danilo, Fabinho, Alex Sandro, and Antony, one thing becomes clear. Ancelotti is not picking based on form alone. He's either prioritizing experience over performance or building a system that only he understands. But to the average fan, it looks confusing, even frustrating. Why bring back players who clearly won't be relevant in 2 years? Why ignore young, informed talents who could develop and peak by 2026? Fans are right to question these calls. Because Brazil's problem in 2022 wasn't a lack of talent. It was a lack of balance, energy, and tactical freshness. The same old faces didn't deliver then, and there's little reason to believe they'll suddenly transform now. And yet, Ancelotti, one of the smartest tactical minds in football, seems to be walking down that same old path again.